This hour of the Costa Report is brought to you by IBM. Big data at the speed of business.
Welcome to the Costa Report. I'm Rebecca Costa, and thank you for joining me for another 2 hours of straight talk radio. I want to give a special welcome to members of America's Armed Forces who are joining us from other countries over the internet. Thank you for your many emails and letters and for your service to our country. And I also want to welcome new listeners in all 50 states, coast to coast. In just a moment, we're going to tackle the issue of the high cost of health care, but from a radically different perspective. We're spending an awful lot of time in Washington and in the media talking about how to pay for taking care of people when they become ill. As a result, we aren't spending any time talking about how to cut insurance and medical costs in this country by keeping people from getting ill in the first place. Imagine the cost savings to insurance companies, Medicare, Medicaid, and to the pocketbooks of all Americans if we didn't have to worry about paying to treat an illness until we were 90 or 100 years old. The fact is, the longer people live a healthy, illness-free life, the lower insurance premiums become. Imagine how low insurance premiums would be if you lived for 100 or 200, even 300 years without needing any surgeries, drugs, or other treatments. Well, it's obvious. Everyone's costs would go down, and insurance companies and hospitals and even the government would make a healthy profit off of a healthy population rather than making money off of a sick citizenry. In just a moment, America's favorite pharmacist, Ben Fuchs, will be joining us to talk about what every citizen can do to reform health care faster and better than anything Washington can do for us. But before pharmacist Ben joins us, as is my custom each week, let me tell you a little about his background. Benjamin Fuchs was born in Flemington, New Jersey. He earned his pharmacy degree from the University of Colorado, as well as a degree in broadcast journalism from Syracuse University. Ben Fuchs has been a registered pharmacist and consulting nutritionist for more than 15 years. He has been lecturing doctors and the public on the importance of nutritional supplementation for healthy bodies since 1991. And there are few pharmacists in the world that know more about nutrition and healing tissues. I should also mention that Fuchs joined the Longevity Scientific Advisory Board in 2013, where he works with many of the most acclaimed names in nutritional health. He is a major contributor to criticalhealthnews.com, a prolific and popular blogger, and the host of a nationally syndicated radio program called The Bright Side. It's my pleasure to welcome to the Costa Report America's pharmacist, Mr. Ben Fuchs. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Fuchs.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's nice to be here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction, too, by the way.
Well, we are so delighted to talk to you, especially on this day when the news is filled with talk about health reform. Now, I thought maybe a good place to start our conversation was to ask you to talk about the current controversy over the high cost of health care insurance premiums, treatments, and pharmaceuticals. I believe that you have suggested that government leaders are working the wrong end of the problem. Is that right?
Yeah, it seems to me crazy that we fix things rather than prevent them. I mean, it's much harder, number one, to fix a problem once it's already begun, and it's much more expensive to fix a problem once it's begun. Why aren't we taking care of the basic lifestyle choices and lifestyle decisions that we have to make at a young age, even at childhood? Why aren't we teaching healthcare how to take care of yourself in kindergarten and first grade and second grade as we're growing up? Why do we wait until we're sick, and why do we assume that being doctored and being medicated is the same as being healthy? See, we collapse these two very separate ideas. Healthcare is not the same thing as disease management. When we go to the doctor, what we're doing is we're managing our diseases. Now, even today, they have certain aspects of prevention, but those aspects of prevention involve things like diagnostics and colonoscopies and various detection of disease states. They're not focusing on keeping the body healthy and well. And it shouldn't be the doctor's job anyway to keep the body healthy and well. I believe medicine should be saved or reserved for emergencies. There's two kinds of medicines, Rebecca. There's we call these these two types of medicine in pharmacy school: heroic medicine and ambulatory medicine. Heroic medicine is the medicine of stitching you up when something falls off, or when you get hit by a car, or when something drops on your head. And praise God that we have this heroic medicine, because it's amazing what they can do. They can stitch all kinds of things back on your body after they've fallen off, and that's pretty darn amazing. They can take your heart out of your body and reroute blood vessels and do a quadruple bypass and put your heart back in. There's incredible things that they can do to the human body. But in terms of ambulatory care, that is chronic long-term management of disease states, the medical model admits that it can't do anything about it. It says, well, we're just going to have to maintain you at this level of disease and hope it doesn't progress. You can't use the word cure in medicine, because they'll tell you there are no cures to chronic degenerative diseases. I don't like the word cure. I say reversal of chronic degenerative diseases, and this idea of reversal of the disease process plays right into how the body works. The body is always healing. It's always regenerating. It's always growing, provided that it has the right raw materials to do its work. And in my opinion, this is what we should be focusing on, providing the body with the raw materials it needs to do its work, and eliminating, or as best as we can eliminate, anything that interferes with how the body works.
Well, let's talk about something specific. Let's
Sure.
we're talking sort of in general terms.
Diabetes.
That the body needs certain raw materials in order to reverse or even fend against disease. So let's talk about a disease that can be reversed, that
Absolutely.
we've demonstrated can be reversed, or that can be completely averted through
Absolutely.
giving the body what it needs.
Let's talk about the main disease, the number one disease. It's diabetes. Now, if you look at disease statistics, it'll say that diabetes is the third leading cause of death behind heart disease and cancer. Well, guess what? If you factor in the relationship between what's called dysglycemia, or messed up blood sugar, and cancer, and messed up blood sugar and heart disease, diabetes, which is a disease of where the body can't control can't keep the blood sugar stable, is the leading cause of death. And it's so tragic, Rebecca, because it's so simple to reverse with lifestyle changes, with nutritional supplementation, with changing eating behaviors, and it can be reversed quickly within a month. Yet we have billions upon billions of dollars in medications, and another who knows how many billions, maybe even trillions of dollars in other healthcare costs associated with this kind of illness, and it is so ultimately tragic. You can reduce, or you can lower your blood sugar, you can reverse the symptoms of diabetes in days without medical intervention, because it's simply blood sugar stabilization is simply a matter of how we eat and how we supplement with a slight element of cortisol, or stress hormone secretion. Who's responsible for our stress levels? We are. Who's responsible for how we eat? We are. Who's responsible for the nutrition we get? We are. This is so tragic to me, Rebecca, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Diabetic symptoms reverse within days and weeks and months. I've seen it with my own eyes more times than I can count. And from a biochemical perspective, it's just simply logical. Your blood sugar only goes up when you eat. And if you're not supplementing correctly, or if you're under a lot of stress, your blood sugar will also, the body will have a difficult time stabilizing the blood sugar. Yet we have 100 million Americans, maybe more, 1 out of 3 of us, who's dealing with this problem. And we think, for the most part, we think that the only solution.
Yeah, imagine for a moment, right? We have 100 million Americans, right, who are getting some kind of health care support. And imagine that they take the responsibility, right, of diabetes into their own hands. They make these corrections. They take the nutritional supplements that they need to stabilize their sugar. They make the lifestyle changes they need to make. Now imagine that they're no longer a burden on the healthcare system. Imagine the cost savings to the insurance companies of just that one disease being proactively dealt with. That's just one. Now, we have to take our first break, but stay where you are. We'll be right back with more from America's Pharmacist, Ben Fuchs. You're listening to the Costa Report.
Big data is changing the way organizations work. From data-driven marketing and ad targeting to the connected car, big data is fueling product innovation and new revenue opportunities. It's creating a culture in which business and IT leaders join forces to realize value from all data. They infuse analytics everywhere and make speed a differentiator, gaining competitive advantage from faster, more informed decisions. Leading organizations are creating new business models, developing new roles, and defining new big data architectures, including an infrastructure that can manage and process exploding volumes of structured and unstructured data, in motion as well as at rest, while protecting data privacy and security. Find out how IBM Big Data and Analytics can transform your business. Visit www.ibm.com/bigdata today.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal. We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who will get the IRS off your back.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Call Tax Solutions now. Time is running out. Call 800-987-0577. 800-987-0577. 800-987-0577. 800-987-0577.
Hey guys, pardon the advertising interruption to your radio program. Do yourself a favor and please listen carefully. If you have tried or wanted to try Viagra or other male prescriptions in the last few years, you need to hear about Noxitril, the super pill that will transform your sex life forever. You see, Noxitril has been formulated and developed in U.S. FDA labs, and it's the real deal. Noxitril works, period. Strong, explosive results that increase blood flow fast. And best of all, there are no side effects like prescription meds. After years of research, the developers of Noxitril got it right. This remarkable pill is off the charts. Right now, we encourage you to take advantage of our incredible free bottle offer. So what are you waiting for? Noxitril. It's that good.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-450-1381. That's 800-450-1381. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-450-1381. 800-450-1381.
Recently on Good Morning Monterey Bay.
Okay, looking for a new job? Well, there is...
You know something I don't know?
No.
Oh, okay.
The top 10 jobs of 2017, neither one of us could do them, Billy.
Oh, really?
Yep. Starting at number 10.
Well, that's comforting.
A quality engineer at 71 grand.
I could do quality engineering. Sure I could.
Yeah, right. Salesforce developer at 108 grand. An IT engineer at number 5 for 85 grand. A Salesforce administrator at 89 grand. Development operations engineer at 123. A data scientist at number 2 is at 129 grand. And number 1 is a full stack developer.
I don't even know what that is.
I have a full stack, but they're not paying me 110 grand.
Don't miss Good Morning Monterey Bay, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on KSCO. And listen anytime on the KSCO mobile app.
Welcome back to the Costa Report. I'm Rebecca Costa, and my guest today is pharmacist Ben Fuchs. And before the break, we were talking about the most effective way to get control of our healthcare costs, which is, of course, to make a decision to get healthy so we don't have a need for expensive treatments and pharmaceuticals. And you were using diabetes as an example of how this disease can be reversed or averted by making changes in our lifestyle and giving our bodies the nutrients that it needs to process sugar properly. Now, one of the keys to staying healthier longer and avoiding the need to be treated for serious illnesses is our immune system. Can you tell us what we now know about the human immune system and what minerals and vitamins have to do with how that immune system works?
Yeah. I love that. Here's the thing about the immune system. The immune system is your defense department. The human body is like a government or like a country. It has a defense department, just like a country has a defense department. It defends itself. The immune system is the defensive system. The calling card of the immune system is called inflammation. And there is no such thing as a chronic degenerative disease. Remember, this is 80% of our healthcare costs, and we're setting chronic degenerative diseases apart from acute illness and infections. There is no such thing as a chronic degenerative disease that does not have an inflammatory component at its basis, i.e., an immune component. And what this means is, Rebecca, that all chronic degenerative diseases, and this is very important what I'm about to say here, all chronic degenerative diseases are about the body defending itself from something. Now, this defense obviously implies that there is an offending agent, and this is the number one problem that the body has to confront, and that is the cause that leads to the manifestations, the symptomology of chronic degenerative diseases. The body is protecting itself from an offending agent. Now, the body is supremely equipped to do this. However, in order for this to be accomplished effectively, number one, there has to be nutritional raw materials which are nutritional for the body to have the wherewithal to defend itself, and the burden of the offending agents can't be so great that it overwhelms this defensive or this immune capacity. So between removing the toxicity, removing the offending agents, and giving the body the wherewithal, the immune system, the wherewithal via nutrition and nutritional supplementations, you have the, I don't want to say the cure, but the ultimate element for reversal of all chronic degenerative diseases. Supporting the immune system. You don't have to have, it doesn't have to be classified as an immune disease for you to benefit from supporting the immune system. Supporting the immune system is the ultimate essence of how to take care of the health of the body, and it only involves two things: keeping the offending agents out and putting supportive nutrients, supporting materials into the body, so the immune system can do its work. Those are the only two things, Rebecca. It simplifies everything.
Now, that immune system is like a firewall, and you've got, what you're basically saying is you need materials to build a wall. Yeah. I know building a wall sounds like I'm talking about immigration right now, but your body wants to build a wall. Yeah. It wants to build a defense against disease, right, and inflammation, chronic illness. It wants to do that, but you've got to have building materials. Is that right?
That's exactly what nutritional supplementation is. It's building
Okay,
materials.
Now I've got a text from a listener right now who's complaining that we're being too general about nutrition, and they're asking me, what specific supplements does Pharmacist Ben take or recommend?
Well,
I'm going to have to put you on the spot here.
Well, I've been working with longevity now for 20 years. I've been using the longevity supplements myself for 20 years. So those are the ones that I recommend. Those are the ones that I use. But the point is, and I understand
why those? Tell us why did you name them?
Okay, so I've been working with the company for 20 years, so I know the people who formulate the products. I know the guy who started the company, Dr. Wallach, and I'm a big believer in his message and a big supporter of his message. And they make exquisitely elegant formulations that you can't get anywhere, formulations that are not available in health food stores, formulations that are easy to use. And that's one of the beautiful things about, well, this is the reason I support longevity, is because they simplify everything. Health can be a very overwhelming subject. You ever go to a health food store and look at all the vitamins against the wall and you're like overwhelmed?
Well, there's too many of them.
There's too many.
The shelves are filled with nutritional supplements. I wouldn't even begin to know how to choose. And so I want to thank this listener for sending a text. I don't know how to choose, and I don't think most people listening to the program would even begin to know how to arm our body's defense system.
I'm a nutritional pharmacist, and I look at the shelf and I get overwhelmed. So I can only imagine what somebody who doesn't have an expertise is thinking when they see all the types of seleniums and all the types of vitamin C and all the companies that are making the nutritional supplements, et cetera. So I can only imagine what these people are thinking. That's why I like longevity so much, is because they simplify it. They give you what are called 90 essential nutrients. The body needs 90 specific nutrients in order to function well. And these 90 nutrients, believe it or not, Rebecca, these 90 nutrients have been required by the human body, or by the cells of the human body, for 3.5 billion years. These 90 essential nutrients are what a cell needs, or what a cell has needed for billions of years, and that menu hasn't changed. And without getting these Mighty 90 essential nutrients, we call them the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, a
Is
cell
that the
cannot
name
operate.
of it? I mean,
No.
can I order the Mighty 90 essential nutrients?
No, you
Is
would
that
have
the
to
name?
order. You'd have
What
to
do
order
I
the
order?
You'd have to order the Healthy Start Pack if you were going to
The
order
Healthy
it.
Start Pack. So that's
Correct.
what you take. You take
That's
the
what
Healthy
I-
Start
well-
Pack because you know that over the period in which mankind has evolved, what our cells need to
Yes.
function properly has not changed.
Pre-mankind, the cell itself, and this is a big problem, Rebecca. When we think of the body, we think of our noses and our faces and our gallbladders and our pancreases and our hands and our feet. We don't recognize that the body is composed of 100 trillion little conscious entities called cells. And these cells require certain substances to do their work. When we're sick, when you have say you have a bone disease or a liver disease or a brain disease or, God forbid, lung cancer, you don't have lung cancer. You have lung cell cancer. You don't have a brain disease. You have a brain cell disease. You don't have a bone disease. You have a bone cell disease. And a cell needs only 90 essential nutrients, oxygen, a few other things like glucose, and a clean place to do its work. All disease is the end result of cells not getting these raw materials, these basic building blocks. But we don't talk about that because the medical model cannot operate at the level of a cell.
So what we do is we wait till these cells fail.
Worse.
Then we allow disease and degeneration to occur. And
Yes.
then we jump on it and try to fix it after the fact rather than trying to deal with health care as an issue on the front end.
At the organ level, at the tissue level, because
At the
medical
tissue level.
Yes, we don't deal with it at the cellular level because the healthcare system, the doctor, the medical model is helpless at the level of a cell. It's impotent. It can do nothing at the level of a cell. At the level of a cell, the medical model can only irradiate, extricate, or poison through drugs. It cannot
Extricate meaning cut it out, like
cut
a
it
cancer.
out. You
yeah,
can
cut it
radiate
out.
it.
And you're
extricate.
saying at the cellular level there is an answer, and
Yes.
at the cellular level,
Where the
what we
disease
need
begins.
to do is to give the cell what it needs to
Yes.
function properly, so
Yes.
that it can defend against disease.
Yes, at the cellular level, but we don't recognize it because cells are invisible and nobody's talking about this. All the doctor's talking about is monitoring blood pressure and monitoring blood sugar and checking bone mineral density and checking thyroid levels. Nobody's talking about the thyroid cell or the bone cell or the pancreas cell because they're helpless at that level. But it doesn't matter, Rebecca, because through our lifestyle choices, we can control what happens at the level
That's
of
right.
the cell.
Well, if the doctor isn't going to talk about cells, that's not going to stop Pharmacist Ben, and that's not going to stop us from doing something about it. We have to take another scheduled intermission, but we'll be right back after these important messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Costa Report. I'm here today with Scott Caraccioli of Caraccioli Cellars, whose Brut Cuvée is winning wine awards faster than we can name them. What is it about Caraccioli's Brut Cuvée that sets it apart from others?
I really think it comes down to both process and the fruit. We're in a ideal location to grow Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and being able to harvest that at optimal pick points in Monterey County, where you have a climate and soils that produce these grapes in the best way possible. Pulling them earlier on, you still get a lot of fruit expression, but you get a lot of acidity, which gives you the opportunity to make killer sparkling wine. And our Brut, being our flagship wine, has everything that's possible when it comes to sparkling wine. You can order any of our products directly from us by visiting our website at caracciolicellars.com or calling the tasting room directly, 831-622-7722.
Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. That's why Dignity Health Dominican Hospital and Dignity Health Medical Group Dominican work with you to make personal choices regarding your health. It's the type of care we can offer because we're more than just a hospital and medical group. We're part of this community. Visit DominicanHospital.org to find a doctor and start living healthy today. Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Santa Cruz Harbor reminds you this time of year with so many boaters taking to the waterways, it's important to plan ahead for a fun and safe outing. Make sure your boat has enough safety equipment for each passenger and review safety procedures with everyone on board. On the waterways, as on the roadways, please don't drink and drive. Remember, Boating is only pleasurable when it's safe. These important messages from Santa Cruz Harbor. That's Santa Cruz Harbor, working to keep our waterways safe this boating season.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. One of the most beautiful of all ornamental plants is the gorgeously colored lupine, with its stunning large pea-like flowers aesthetically clustered in long spikes. But lupine is much more than a pretty face. It's classified as a legume, and farmers use it as a soybean alternative for livestock feed, and many researchers believe that lupine may be the next big thing in the world of food and nutrition. It's an especially good source of the amino acid arginine. In fact, in the late 19th century, arginine was reportedly first isolated from the extract of the leguminous lupine plant. Arginine is converted by the body into something called nitric oxide, a gas that's released from cells lining blood vessels. These blood vessel cells are involved in opening and closing of the arteries and veins and play a major role in the development of heart disease. Under conditions of nutritional deficiency or toxicity or lack of oxygen and subsequent inflammation, these cells disintegrate, and fats and cholesterol and calcium get trapped in or fill the gaps up like a Band-Aid, depending on how you look at it. And this is where heart disease develops. And this is why cholesterol-lowering strategies really don't work well for heart disease. The problem isn't the cholesterol, it's the damaged lining. All of this is to say that making sure you have enough arginine in your diet is one of the best ways to keep your heart and circulatory system healthy. Seafood, meat, and eggs and nuts are especially good sources, as are the aforementioned soybeans and legumes. And using a gram or two in a supplemental form every day is probably not a bad idea either. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm a pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
Welcome back to the Costa Report. I'm Rebecca Costa, and if you're just joining us, my guest today is America's pharmacist, Mr. Ben Fuchs. And before the break, you were talking about the fact that doctors and the healthcare industry doesn't know how to deal with disease on a cellular level. Now, during the break, I have to confess, I've been on the internet searching to see where I can get the mighty 90, the 90 nutrients that you claim you take to feed your cells. And I came across the site, WeDon'tHaveToBeSick.com.
I love that.
Is that the best place to get information and get these supplements? Where do you go?
WeDon'tHaveToBeSick.com, and it's aptly named. That's the whole idea.
So I want to say that again. It's WeDon'tHaveToBeSick.com, and that's where you get that Mighty 90 supplement.
The Healthy Start Pack. It's 3 products. One product that's a powdered nutritional drink called Beyond Tangy Tangerine that's super tasty. I'll tell you about that here in a second. The second product is essential fatty acids, which are also woefully deficient in the standard American diet. And then another product called Beyond OsteoFX. But the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is very fascinating because one of the great gifts of the human body, and this should be very inspiring to anybody who's feeling less than well, one of the great gifts of the human body, Rebecca, is the more nutritionally deficient we are, the faster the body absorbs those nutrients. It's like a dry sponge sucks up more water than a wet sponge. And with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because it's a powder that you put into water and drink, you get almost instant results, particularly if you are deficient in these kinds of nutrients, specifically what are called water-soluble nutrients. That is,
so you're going to know
right away
how deficient you are based on how good you feel immediately afterwards.
You got it, and it won't take very long. Exactly. And it won't take very long, Rebecca. For most people, it'll take less than 24 hours. For many people, almost instantly, especially first thing in the morning, because all of us tend to be deficient first thing in the morning because we've been undernutriated or non-nutriated for 6 or 8 or 9 hours while we're sleeping. This is one of the reasons why people need coffee in the morning, is because you're undernutriated, especially if you've gone to the bathroom in the middle of the night once or twice. Now you're really undernutriated. And by the way, the more water you're drinking, you know how everybody's drinking water these days, the more you're losing your electrical energizing nutrients. And what the Beyond Tangy Tangerine does
is you're flushing them out of your system.
Exactly.
Right.
Your electrolytes you're
going to be more nutrient starved. And so all these people that are going hydrate, I'm going, you're flushing everything out of your system.
Yes, exactly. And that's why the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is so darn important, because it replaces those electrolytes. It replaces the B vitamins and the vitamin C.
Now, I've got to stop and ask you this, because there's a lot of people are burning up my internet site right now and asking me. Again, the site is wedon'thavetobesick.com. Don't keep emailing me. I'll give you the address at the end again. But what do you say to people who think buying supplements is like buying snake oil?
Well,
there's all these supplement companies, and they're all ripoffs. Mm-hmm. They're all giving us a fake science. What do you say that? You're a registered pharmacist. You have a deep medical background. What do you say to those folks?
I say two things. First of all, if you understand the nature of a cell, if you understand the requirements of a cell based on its physical nature, you understand that these supplements are important. They're the menu which a cell eats from, and the cell cannot make them. That's where the term essential comes from. They are food that the cell needs. See, a cell's like a person. It's a miniature version, a microcosmic version of a person. We have a brain, a cell has a brain. We have a reproductive system, a cell has a reproductive system. We have a defensive system, a cell has a defensive system. And we have food that we need to eat to sustain ourselves, and a cell has food it needs to sustain itself. We eat hamburgers and hot dogs and celery and salads and cereal. A cell eats vitamins, minerals, and amino acids and fatty acids, like we eat food. Those essential amino acids, essential fatty acids, vitamins and minerals, they should be in the foods, but they're not because of food processing, because of soil depletion, because we're not eating correctly. There's a whole range of reasons that come together to form deficiencies at the cell level of nutrients. By using supplements, you replace those nutrients. And the second thing I would say to people is try supplementation and see what happens, but do it strategically and do it correctly.
I agree with you, Ben. I see no downside in trying it out. Look, if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling tired, if there's any chance you're flushing these nutrients out of your system, you really don't have anything to lose. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm one of those people. I'll try anything once, twice, and maybe even 3 times and make sure I wasn't wrong. Again, I'm going to tell you that the website is wedon'thavetobesick.com. And, as an evolutionary biologist, I can tell you that what the cells in the human body need, we have not been on this earth that long, and what the cells of the human body need has not changed. You do need these 90 essential nutrients, and I hope that some of the listeners will go out today and do yourself a favor and do America a favor and get our healthcare costs by not having to be sick and not having to put a burden on the healthcare system. Now, we're just about out of time, and you got to promise me, Ben, you'll come back again.
I'm
because
honored.
My website is burning up right now. Social media is burning up. We'd like to have you come back and talk about this important subject again, particularly in light of all these healthcare costs. I have to say, I just, I don't think that healthcare costs are going to go down in any substantial way until America stops being spectators of their own health and starts to get involved. So I want to thank you so much. Yeah, be proactive. Do something about it, and do something for your country by getting healthy and not putting a burden on the system. So thank you again for being with us today, and I hope you'll come back.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Good to talk to you.
And speaking of nutrition, I know that pharmacist Ben will agree with me that one way we can stay healthy and fend off illness and bring those pesky insurance premiums down is to eat fresh, nutrient-rich foods that actually taste good. And I'm talking about meals made from sustainably sourced seafood and beef, chicken, and pork from responsibly raised animals and produce from farms that practice regenerative farming. And what if I said you could have all of those fresh ingredients delivered right to your front door in time to make a healthy and delicious meal that you'd expect to eat only in the finest restaurants? Well, that's what Blue Apron does. For under $10 a person, Blue Apron delivers everything you need along with a simple step-by-step recipe right to your doorstep. And did I mention these recipes only take about 40 minutes to make? And so families that have gotten into Blue Apron are now 3 times more often likely to cook at home together. The best part of this is that you'll never, ever get bored. No more same old for supper. Blue Apron offers a wide variety of meals from 3 cheese and baby broccoli stromboli with tomato and oregano dipping sauce to crispy salmon and roasted potato salad with pickled mustard seed and crumb fresh sauce. Or try my favorite, beef teriyaki stir fry with sugar snap peas and lime rice. It's so good. And if that sounds as good to you as it does to me, then waste no time in going to blueapron.com/Costa, because that's where you'll get 3 free meals, including free shipping. That's blueapron.com/Costa. Make sure you put in the promo code /Costa to get those 3 free meals and the free shipping. If you don't put that in, you're not going to get the free meals. So one more time, blueapron.com/Costa. Do it right now while it's fresh on your mind. Then email me a picture of your meal and let me know how your Blue Apron experience was. I'll tell you, there are few things that you can do that, and by you, I mean us individual citizens of the United States. There are very few things that we can do to lower healthcare costs. We seem to be so pointed at Washington, D.C. to do that for us, but we don't need Washington, D.C. to do that for us. By taking supplements, nutritional supplements, particularly the 90 essential supplements that your cells need to fend off disease, you can lower healthcare costs by remaining healthy into your 80s, 90s, till you're 100 years old. And imagine paying insurance premiums all that time and not needing a doctor. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. We have to take another short break. When we come back, I will tell you why our obsession with government healthcare reform is killing us. You're listening to the Costa Report.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-314-7417. 800-314-7417. That's 800-314-7417.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-350-9514. That's 1-800-350-9514. Again, 1-800-350-9514.
When you think of local, I want you to think of quality healthcare where you live. Think of local primary care physicians, local specialists, and local patient care coordinators. From Boulder Creek to Watsonville, Physicians Medical Group provides care from 100 locations throughout Santa Cruz County. PMG's patient care coordinators are the team you call when you need answers. To learn more about local healthcare with Physicians Medical Group, visit pmgscc.com or call 831-465-7800.
Hi, everyone. This is Meg from the Lumen Market, letting you know that the store has you covered for your Cinco de Mayo celebration. Sales throughout all the departments, including meat department, where we have skirt steak for $13.99 a pound, New York steaks, $8.99 a pound, Hulat steaks, $8.49 a pound, fresh Atlantic salmon, $9.99 a pound, extra large shrimp, $14.99 a pound, and made in-house hot Italian and chicken basil sausages for $5.99 a pound. Big Joe and Produce Department wants you to know that they are spicing up the savings for this holiday for you. Avocados, 89 cents each. Roma tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. Jalapenos, 99 cents a pound. Cilantro, 69 cents each. Mangoes, 79 cents each. Limes, 6 for $1, and lemons, 3 for $1. In organics, they have cluster tomatoes at $1.99 a pound. Fuji or Gala apples, $1.69 a pound. And much, much more. The Cinco de Mayo specials will last through next Wednesday, so be sure to come in and take advantage. And thank you for shopping with us at Ben Lomond Market.
This weekend brings us to the first Saturday of a new month, so once again, Nurse Jackie Tucker will be inviting Dr. Dawn Motika to slip into the chair as guest host of her Stepping In program from 3 until 4. Dr. Motika is a longtime presence on the Monterey Bay Area airwaves with a private practice in Santa Cruz focused on integrative medicine. Dr. Dawn Motika takes your calls, tweets, and emails this Saturday at 3 on Stepping In here on KSCO and KOMY.
Welcome back to the Costa Report. I'm Rebecca Costa, and if you're just joining us, we have been speaking with America's pharmacist, Ben Fuchs, about reforming America's healthcare system, which, as you know, is on the news almost every day, and which several presidents and several Congresses have been wrestling with for quite a while now. But let's step back and look at what would really have the biggest impact on healthcare costs in America. Is it really a matter of stirring up more competition between insurance companies? Is it really a matter of putting limits on what pharma companies can charge for drugs? Is it a matter of getting more healthy young people into insurance exchanges so the mix is right and the premiums can come down? The fact is, in spite of spending more money on individual health care than any other industrialized nation, Americans are not living longer, and they are not healthier. You would think that all that money poured into health care would have some tangible result, some evidence. Makes sense, right? But that tangible result is there. But what tangible result is there to show that spending more money makes healthcare better? Well, it turns out there isn't any. None. Zippo. From mortality rates to the number of people who are on pharmaceuticals for the rest of their life, to every other measurement in the book, countries who spend far less on healthcare do just as well as Americans, which begs the question, what is all that money that we're spending actually doing? At some point, we have to address the real issue with health care. And that is not whether the government gets the cost of treating illnesses under control or whether pre-existing conditions should be covered by insurers or whether Medicare or Medicaid should cover more than they do. The real issue is whether we are doing everything we can to prevent and postpone our need for health care. I'm asking you to imagine how little health care would cost if we did what was necessary to live until the ripe old age of 100 without needing any surgery or medications or treatments for disease. Imagine millions of Americans living longer, healthier lives, and imagine their children are healthier. Now imagine more babies being born healthy. Imagine paying a very, very, very small insurance premium for 100 years and not needing any medical treatments throughout that 100 years. Do you think insurance companies might be interested in that? You think they might be able to make money if healthy people paid a low premium for 100 years and never needed to file a claim? The fact is, pharmacist Ben is right. We are treating the wrong end of the problem. If we want more healthy people in insurance pools, then we have to start with what it will take to live 100 years without needing a doctor. And we don't need the government to do this for us. We can each take responsibility for living healthy as long as possible by making sure we pay attention to the ways in which we can strengthen our natural immune system and give our cells what they need. Every day we make decisions which open or close the door to disease. And if you've been fortunate enough to have any genetic testing done, then you might even know which diseases you're opening the door to. But even if you don't know what you're genetically predisposed to, you do know that the human body needs certain nutrients to function properly. You know that you need certain minerals, certain vitamins for all of your organs to work, for all of your cells to do their job. And when you don't give those nutrients to your body, you stress your organs along with the rest of your body, and over time, you make yourself susceptible to illness. Today, we have the science and we have the knowledge to know that most bodies are not getting the nutrients needed to heal, to thrive, to fight off diseases, to recover. And while you should be able to get all of these by simply eating right, if you're like me, well, you grab food here and there every day without putting a whole lot of thought into it. If you're a busy mom or a busy executive or a volunteer, a school teacher, a nurse, well, you're probably as guilty as I am of eating without thinking or planning. Food is just food, and the better it tastes, the better. So as much as I like to talk about national and international issues on this program, issues such as reforming our overly complex tax system, developing a comprehensive immigration program, dealing with terrorism in the Middle East, in this one instance, I have to confess, I am not so sure healthcare reform is something that ought to come from the government. I think the real revolution in healthcare needs to come from us. We have to make a living healthy for a long time a priority. We have to make living healthy for a long time a priority and do whatever it takes to avoid needing a doctor, needing drugs, or needing surgery. And when we stop behaving like a spectator of healthcare reform and take the power to reform healthcare insurance ourselves by changing the way we live, then there'll be plenty of money to treat what ails us when we finally do need it, and for the short period of time in which we will need it. The way to get more healthy people into insurance pools is to have more of them. And let's face it, that's up to you and me, not the U.S. government. So the next time you hear someone complaining about what the government is and is not doing about healthcare costs, ask that person what they're doing to get those costs down. Now, today, we've been talking about the things that you and I can do to get healthy. And speaking of our health, one of the most important things we can do is live as long as possible without illness and to make sure that stress isn't leading to illness. And when you're doing the job of 2 and 3 and 4 people day in and day out, you're stressed. You're taxed. So here's my question for you today. Are you hiring? And if you are, do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, cover every single base, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100-plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and then hire that right person fast. ZipRecruiter is the most efficient way to fill any job opening, whether you're looking for an executive, an experienced specialist, or you have an entry-level position to fill. ZipRecruiter is the fastest and easiest way to find the ideal person for the job. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by Fortune 100 companies as well as thousands of small and medium-sized businesses. And right now, listeners of the Costa Report can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free, 100% free, by going to ZipRecruiter.com/report, REPORT. That's right. It's 100% free, costs you nothing. You can be up on hundreds of job sites overnight. That's ZipRecruiter.com/report. One more time to try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/report and take some stress off of yourself. Take some stress off of the other employees that you're working with. You know, there is nothing more stressful in this life than going to a job 8 hours a day where you're shorthanded. And you'll continue to be shorthanded till you find the right person to fill that job with, because everybody knows it doesn't do you much good to hire somebody who's not qualified for the job. That just makes it worse. So try ZipRecruiter.com/report and let me know how it went. And that wraps up our first hour. If your station is leaving us after that first hour, you know that my guest next week is somebody that you just don't want to miss. You know him from his contributions to the McLaughlin Report and every major network news program in the United States. Mort Kondracki. He'll be here to discuss the state of gridlock between the president and Congress. We know another fight's coming up in the Senate, and what issues, if any, might bring Republicans and Democrats together to work on behalf of the American people. Wouldn't that be nice? Don't miss the one and only Mort Kondracki right here on the only news program that puts policy ahead of politics. And one more time, take care of yourself. Go out and get those 90 essential nutrients and take care of that body of yours. You're listening to the Costa Report.
Hi, it's MZ from KSCO in Santa Cruz, and though I don't care much for people who brag, I'm going to do just a little of it now, and hope you will give me a pass by calling it Just Being Proud. Our station can afford to be innovative and refreshingly different because we use education and logic to promote great health products that change people's lives for the better. We also help people build strong businesses that create residual income through a wonderful low-cost business opportunity that we have developed and refined during the last 20 years. We believe that Rebecca Costa's large audience is comprised of particularly intelligent and educated persons, some of whom may want to earn more money. If you are tired of being someone else's wage slave and are ready to go to work building your own excellent supplement business that can provide you and your family income and become a saleable and willable asset, I want to talk with you. Send an email to mz@wedon'thavetobepoor.com. That's mz@wedon'thavetobepoor.com.
Join us for a Festival Grande Friday, the 5th of May at Joe's Bar in Boulder Creek for a Cinco de Mayo celebration. Enjoy handmade tamales for just $5. Dinner will be served at 5 p.m. with proceeds benefiting the Valley Churches United that has been serving the San Lorenzo Valley for decades. Remember, this Friday, 5 p.m. at Joe's for a Cinco de Mayo celebration.
I'm Rob Watson from Out in Santa Cruz. Join me Saturdays at 7 p.m. as I bring you the breaking LGBTQ happenings locally and from around the globe. The powerful, the talented, and the newsmakers join me in exclusive interviews. I bring you fun, fabulousness, and I don't shy away from controversy. Join me as I take you over the equality rainbow, right here out in Santa Cruz, Saturdays at 7.
For almost 70 years, we've been serving our community. AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.